Good morning. This is Dan Larson, and this is today's Quiet Echo. A woman in my congregation brought me 3 tomatoes this week. She set them down on my desk, still warm from the vine, dirt still on the skins, and she said she thought I might like the first of them. Now she keeps a big garden, and in a month it is going to be coming in faster than she can possibly give it all away. Tomatoes on every doorstep in the ward. Zucchini nobody asked for left on porches like foundlings. She could have waited for the flood, but instead she picked the very first 3 before she even knew whether the rest of them would come, and she carried them clear across town to me. And I have been thinking about those 3 tomatoes all week long, because tomorrow is one of the oldest holidays almost nobody keeps anymore. It is called Lammas. Loaf Mass Day, and for more than 1,000 years, on the 1st of August, people carried the first loaf of bread, baked from the very first grain of the harvest, into the church to be blessed. Not the whole crop, mind you, just the first of it. The wheat was barely cut. The fields were still full of grain standing out there, a good month from being safe, one hailstorm from ruin. And on the day itself, before a single bit of it was certain, they stopped, and they baked the first of it, and they gave thanks. And I will be honest with you, I find I do my own gratitude backward from those people. I give thanks when the harvest is already in, when the check is cleared, when the scan comes back clean, when the wayward child finally picks up the phone and calls, when the deal has closed and the money is sitting safe in the account and there is nothing left to go wrong. My gratitude waits for the all clear, and it is real. I do not doubt it is real, but it is safe. It costs me nothing at all to be grateful for a thing I am already holding in my hand. The woman with the tomatoes was braver than I am. She gave her thanks at the very beginning, on faith, for a harvest she could not yet see. She was saying, in the only language a gardener really has, I believe there is going to be more. And even if there is not, this first handful right here was worth stopping for. Now, there is an idea much older than llamas, older than any one faith, and it runs underneath the whole of it. You bring the first and the best, not the leftovers. There is a very old story of 2 brothers and 2 offerings, and the entire weight of it turns on one small difference. One of them brought the first of his flock, and the other brought some of his crop later when he got around to it, the first or the leftovers. And anyone who has ever given anything to anybody knows in his own bones the two are not the same thing. I want to tell you about a family in my stake who lived this very thing out last winter, back when they had next to nothing. It had been a hard year on them, hours cut, a good deal more month than there was money. And when the time came around to give, they gave first, right off the top, before the bills, before they even knew whether the numbers were going to work out at all. And I only know this because they came and told me, not to be admired for it, but because it frightened them, and they needed to say it out loud to somebody. They gave the first, and not whatever happened to be left, because what was left might well be nothing. And they were not willing to find out their gratitude only ever showed up when it was convenient. Because here is the thing about first fruits. It is not really about the fruit at all. It is about who you become when you give thanks before you are safe. Anybody can be grateful at the end of a good year. It asks a great deal more of a person to stop in the middle of an uncertain one and pick the first 3 tomatoes and carry them across town to somebody's desk. Let me tell you one more thing I have noticed from a good many years of watching people. The ones who wait until they are certain before they give thanks, they are very often still waiting. The certainty they are holding out for does not come. It almost never comes. There is always another season after this one, another harvest not yet in, another reason to hold the gratitude back just a little longer until things settle. And things do not settle. Not on this side of it. The people who learn to give thanks early are the only ones who ever really give thanks at all. So here is what I would ask of you. Bring the first of something this week, not the leftovers, the first. The first hour of your morning before the phone, the first of your pay before the bills, the first tomato before the flood. Give it or give thanks for it, or do both before you have the first idea how the rest of the season is going to turn out. Do not wait for the barn to be full. The 3 tomatoes are sitting right here on my desk as I say this to you. I have not eaten them. I just keep looking at them. 3 small red first things, given before the harvest was sure, and worth more than a whole August of them given after. The front porch is open. What is the first of something you could give this week before you know how the rest turns out? Come and tell us. And if we get something wrong, tell us, and we will run the correction. The readers of the Cedar Valley News are gathering to share their stories and keep company with respect and no party lines. Come sit with us. I will put the link in the show notes. This is Dan Larson, your host for today's Quiet Echo. Thanks for listening. Quiet Echo is part of the fictional Cedar Valley News series, written by Evan Swenson, publisher, and Claude Marshall, AI developmental editor. While the people and town of Cedar Valley are fictional, the observance is real. Lammas, or Loafmas Day, falls on August 1st and is among the oldest harvest festivals in the English-speaking world. The name comes from the Old English Huafmis, meaning loaf mass. On this day, people brought a loaf baked from the first grain of the season to be blessed, giving thanks for the first fruits of the harvest before the rest was gathered. Traditions of offering the first and best of a harvest appear across many cultures and faiths. This episode reflects on the idea and takes no position on any religious practice.
You've been listening to the Cedar Valley News Podcast, where small-town voices meet the headlines shaping our world. From faith and family to front porches and fields. We'll be back with more stories connecting real lives to real events. Until next time, keep your porch light on, your faith strong, and your heart open. This is Cedar Valley News.